Hello, Mega Dimensions here, back for another video. Okay, last time we went and talk. We went and find out there was a killer by Aiga and Kohaku-san. Then we went to the town to look for Arcade, found her fighting with Ciel, and then we had a conversation about the church. And then came with the decision: choose Ciel or choose Arcade. I chose Ciel. And now Arcade went on in a huff and went away. So, okay, that's a good summary. What happened near the end? Okay, that's the parts I remember at least. Okay, so now I think this is the part where, and the other route is like where she chases Arcade. So, surrounded by night, Arcade walks down the street. She looks straight ahead, her white figure with golden hair fluttering. It bears a horrible resemblance to the first time I saw her. No, perhaps it's like the time she faced off with Nero. Let's move the mouse here. For some reason, I have a bad feeling about this. Hey, Arcade! Arcade continues to walk without turning around. I want to talk to you. You can at least tell me what you're going to do. Of course, Arcade just continues walking without turning around. It'll be miserable if I left it like this. I decided to follow her silently for now. The footsteps echo through the night air, and then Arcade suddenly stops and turns around. Don't follow me. Don't you understand? It's troubling for another person like you to follow me around. So tell me what you're going to do, and I'll go back. It doesn't concern you, so leave me alone. Arcade strides off once more. Crap. It seems like our wordless wandering is going to continue. When we approach the main street, Arcade freezes. Found it. Eh? Her voice is cold, like a totally different person's. Yeah, I can't do that. Found it. Yeah, I think that's what to say. I have no idea. A chill runs up my spine. Even from behind, I can feel the hostility manifesting itself in her. From her? I have no idea. I don't know why I keep correcting the grammatical mistakes. Arcade, what are you? I can't even finish. It's clear what she intends to do without saying anything. Without a doubt, there's nothing but pure, unadulterated intent to kill. Hey, what are you thinking? Arcade doesn't answer. Her eyes is fixed solely on a man in a business suit walking by. Shiki, take off your glasses and look at that person. That person you mean that businessman? Hurry. If you want to know what I'm doing, then leave the questions for later. Alright. I don't like to look while in town, but I'll take off my glasses. Gah. Instantly, a light headache springs forth. In exchange for pain, I can see lines running all along the walls and the ground. Another question, Shiki. You only see points on living things, right? Eh? Yeah, that seems to be true. Things like buildings only have lines. I saw them back at the time in that hotel, but at the cost of a headache that has almost caused me to pass out. Right, since you're a living being, you can comprehend the death of inanimate objects. So in order to see the death of inanimate objects, you must first connect to a circuit of the same orientation as them. To see, you have to comprehend them first. Then another question. Shiki, how does that person look to you? It'll just be as always. Without thinking, I step backwards. What is that? Certainly all humans have lines on them, but they only have countable amounts, and they also look like geometric patterns. But what is this? These are lines running all through him. Those lines are all over him like blood vessels, so much that I can't even make out his appearance. I want to puke. Those black lines, scribbles making a human shape everywhere throughout it. I can see black points. They look like flowing blood.
Shiki, how does it look? I was hoping it would look normal to you.
I can't answer. Right now it takes all my strength just not to vomit.
I see. How unfortunate that you can even see death on that thing.
Yeah, it's not normal, but I can still see the lines.
I knew it. You can even kill the dead. The fact that they don't have any life has no meaning to you. Something that moves, something that breaks, you can't stop it completely without exception. You can stop it without exception. You're more of a monster, Shiki.
Huh?
As you saw, you can't call that thing human anymore. It is a vampire that deceives death by sucking the blood of other people.
Arya quickens her steps. She walks towards that man. Hey, Arquade!
Stay there, Shiki.
Till the young man realized Arcade was there. He starts running towards a back alley. Arcade strides silently. Underneath the moonlight, she disappears in that alley. The sound of my heartbeat is awfully close. It's not even real late at night. Even though I am in the midst of a bustling shopping district, I can't sense anyone besides myself. My glasses. I had to put on my glasses. If I don't do that, I'll see terrible things. I see something so terrible that everything I've seen so far be nothing in comparison to it. But my body won't move. My eyes that can see the patchwork world looks towards the alley in fascination. Suddenly sounds vanish. In the presence of other people, the sound of wind, the smell of the dirt, all of it freezes. Ugh. Under the frozen moon, a bizarre noise sounds from the other side of the wall. Go. No way. I can see it. I can't hear anything. A sickening sound. But I can see it. My eyes definitely see the sound of death. And death crashing. Ugh. My vision turns crimson. Why do my eyes see death? Something that shouldn't be able to be seen. My glasses. I had to put on my glasses or I'll go insane. I'll back the rising gorge in my throat and use a shaking hand to put on my glasses. Sound and light return. Now that I'm calm, I glance around, seeing nothing out of the ordinary in the shopping district. The bustling of many people passing by. The brightness of a store decorated show window and the sound of rushing car engines. So, well, that's more detailed than last time, I guess. So that's neat. I'm panting excessively. I can hardly breathe. Though I put my glasses on, I can still feel the lingering remnant of that death, and it makes me sick. Arika comes out of the alley. There isn't even a trace of our previous hostility, and seems to be in a good mood. Quit?
Huh? Oh, I see. I guess you really did stay here.
Stay here, you... I can't go home after seeing something like that.
Huh? What's wrong, Shiki? You don't look very lively.
Don't worry about it. It's just my anemia. More important, Arkwright, what was that all about? I look Arkwright as I grab her arms.
What? Shiki, what are you doing all of a sudden? If you're hurt, I can take you to your house.
No thanks, I'm fine. So, tell me, what was that person? You show me this much, so you say this has nothing to do with me? I'll punch you, Arkwright. Get right back to the point, aren't we, Shigi Tono? Told Shigi. I approach her, ignoring the fact I can barely breathe. Arkwright's expression is instantly turned serious, but I have no intention of backing down. After a brief stare, she gives a sigh.
Fine, you're awful persistent, Shiki.
Well, forgive me for being so persistent.
Idiot. Idiot, that was a compliment. Then shall we go somewhere to talk? Somewhere else to talk?
Somewhere else? Why?
You want me to tell you about it, right? So, not here. Let's go back to the park. Shigi, can you walk?
Don't make fun of me. It's not media, it's just an everyday thing. Arkwright says regretfully as she smiles and starts to walk. I walk behind her and resist the urge to pass out.
Well, as you wish, Shiki. Let's talk about anything. If you want to ask something, feel free.
Don't ask. Then I'll ask. But just, what was that guy earlier? You said he was a vampire, but he was what you were after?
No, he certainly is a part of my target, but putting the dead back into the grave isn't my goal. I only got him because he was a minion of my enemy. If I let him alone, he will kill more people to increase his power.
Arkwright, can you explain it so I can understand? I don't even know if that guy was even human or not.
Oh, I guess I never really did explain you in detail about vampires.
Yep.
Nero is a sort of aberration against the vampire race, so I didn't really need to explain it at that time.
Was a Nero vampire then?
What I mean is, what do you think of vampires? Immoral, never aging, sucking human blood, turning that human into a vampire, being destroyed by all of that. My enemy is that old type of vampire.
So you mean this enemy of yours is the one behind all this recent serial killings?
I suppose, but the killings of all those people by sucking their blood might be the work of the dead, like the one you saw earlier. Shiki, you remember how Nero's body was made of all of those familiars, right?
Yeah, it's not exactly something I could easily forget.
The dead are like that. When humans have their blood sucked by a vampire, they can also receive some of the vampire's blood. They die, but remain in this world as a servant of the vampire. They are called the dead, and they are like vampire familiars. And maybe it's easier to understand if I use the word zombie. It's a closer to voodoo belief in Haiti, where the white serpent god Dabala is invoked to control a dead body. But let's just say a dead body that moves is a zombie. Okay?
Yeah, I can visualize it better that way. I get it. So the man killed by a vampire who uses him as a zombie.
Yes.
Arkwright nods happily. I'm so confused though. Why would a vampire do that? Killing people, not letting them die by controlling them? What bad taste.
You're right, those vampires do have bad taste. But that's something only the dead apostles do. Those that were vampires from the very beginning do not do such things.
always vampires from the very beginning? I remember. You said there were two types of vampires, those who were vampires originally and those who were human. When I heard that before, it kind of stuck in my head. I thought it was a little odd. So what exactly do you mean by those who weren't originally vampires?
Simple, I'm saying the dead apostles used to be humans. They either gained immortality through magic or became servants of the true ancestors that sucked their blood. Sure, you said it was bad taste to use to kill humans, but that's just the least of it. There are other vampires who think of worse games.
A game? What is that? Guys kill for fun and use their dead bodies as toys?
I won't deny that. For vampires, amusement is the same as breathing. For those who were once human but gained imperfect immortality, the greatest enemy is boredom. They didn't have a reason to become immortal to start with, so once they gained immortality, they lost all kinds of greed. Their goal was immortality itself, so I guess that's just the way things are. They're bored, so they want to play.
They're bored, so they want to play? Don't be ridiculous. Isn't that enough they don't age or die? Do you really need anything else?
That's what I said. They got everything they wanted. After that, there's no meaning to existence. As soon as someone realizes they have no value, that their life is stopped, then their meaning of existence disappears too. Immortality is also another word for death. So they started to wear it down, and they started to create their own amusement as if to tell themselves they could have fun as long as they lived. That's their beginning. They can copy humans and see themselves in the game as lords of a castle, expanding their territory. I guess you can call it a country of the dead. It seems they got more enjoyment out of that than they expected.
She speaks as if she was talking of other people. Argus should be one of those, but she sure doesn't seem like she has that sort of hobby.
Well, let's change the topic, but the dead apostles were originally human. But there are a few places where they became vampires through their own magic research, searched by the majority of them were humans who had their blood sucked. They are immortal, but they can't last forever. They can only be immortal if they drink blood of others. Didn't I say their immortality was imperfect? If they can feed on the humans, their immortality is gone. But if they only fed on humans, then the existence of vampires will be revealed. If they don't, just being there, they distort the world around them. That would attract the attention of agents of the church, like Ciel.
So you mean that vampires can't do that? Can't do what they want?
Yes, if they break their agreement with the church and move about freely, they will be immediately discovered and annihilated. So the majority of the dead apostles make subordinates, that they bring them blood as they sleep. Sucking blood and giving them the dead body some blood of their own, they create their minions, do their work for them. We simply call them the dead. So what you killed before was a kind of soldier for the dead apostles.
So what you killed before was a sort of the dead apostle.
Not so much of a soldier as a puppet. The dead apostles control the dead bodies by skipping the process of becoming a vampire. The dead are completely connected to their parent vampire. In order for them to survive, they attack others to eat their flesh, where more than half of that energy goes to their master. Like a queen bee nourished by the worker bees, the dead apostles can use the dead to increase their power while they sleep. My enemy can't be found easily because he's using a lot of the dead. He only dirties his hands once. At After that, he simply controls the dead while he sleeps and expands his territory. They say many bodies are found in the recent supposed serial killings, but those are actually just failures. To tell the truth, there are over 100 victims in this city, but only a small amount of the ones discovered are the victims in the news.
Oh, what? 100? There are that many that had their blood sucked. All those people suck the blood of others to make them into monsters like themselves, like wandering, lifeless thing, like that wandering thing earlier. That's ridiculous. 3 days ago, I remember how all those people in that hotel died, were killed for no reason. I was there, but I didn't see it, so I can only visualize. I can't really tell what kind of violence it was. It's still the same. I can't fathom the existence of vampires that suck human blood, just to increase their own territory. Just without reason, without recognition. If someone close to me died like that, how would I act? I don't want to imagine it, but just a bit. I can imagine I being drained of blood and discarded like trash. What makes me mad is the worst case scenario could happen at any minute in this town, and I didn't have a clue about it before.
I know you'll be angry. I knew you'd be angry, Shiki. I didn't want to talk about it because for the prey, for you guys, this is an inexcusable evil. This is not something you want to hear, is it?
That's right. After hearing this, I don't want to do. I don't know what to do now. That's right. There's no way I can live in peace like I did until now, knowing that someone I know may become a victim tomorrow. Since I found out about it, I have to fight this vampire just like I did Nero. Such a fight. Do I have to fight again like that one? It almost makes me go insane. It almost makes me go insane.
Oh, Shiki, you're making that face again. You can relax, even though the avowed enemies, our vampires, do not have a presence in this country. I'm still here. Didn't I say earlier, my purpose was to execute vampires?
I don't know where that heavy atmosphere went because of Arquade. It mostly becomes cheerful. Yeah, I remember. But you're a vampire too, right? Why would you side with us humans?
I'm not really siding with you humans, but I'm doing it because I don't have anything else to do.
She doesn't have anything else to do? I still don't understand her. Well, doing that brings the dead.
Well, doing that brings the dead apostles after me. But you beat Nero was pursuing me, didn't you, Shiki? So now I can go back to the original plan and defeat my enemy.
You can
go back living your normal life now, and you don't have to associate with me anymore.
She smiles as if she was happy about something.
Shiki, why are you making that troubled face again?
'Cause I'm troubled. 'Cause this is something that involves a city I live in.
I said you shouldn't worry. In 2 or 3 days it'll all be over, so there won't be any more victims.
Was it 2 or 3 days? I don't really remember. She has like a nice curvature. I like it. And she has that puffy sweater. That makes it so iconic. They're so iconic. Yeah, honestly, I don't want to be involved. But saying that line, shouldn't I be the one? Shouldn't I, the one living in the city, say that line instead of Arquade? Arquade. Can I ask you a question? This enemy you speak of, is he strong?
Well, he should be made more times superior than the dead earlier. I haven't met him in this time, but he's been laden for 8 years, so maybe he's a class 5 by now.
Well, now I'm classing 5 by numbers. Class 5? I don't get it, but that does mean he's stronger than Nero.
Not a chance. Nero was special. He was a pure, supreme vampire that would be difficult to defeat even with my full power. Compared to him, this enemy is pretty weak.
Oh. Then there's no way you'll be defeated. I breathe out in relief.
Who knows? A few days earlier, he wouldn't be a problem, but now I'm just recovering. The possibility that he has more power is actually high.
Recovering? Are you sick of something, Arquid?
Yeah, I still have the effects from when you killed me, and I don't think I'll be fine for at least a few more days.
That's right, the reason why Arquid is weak. It isn't anyone's fault but mine.
But it's okay. I'll defeat him for sure, even if it kills me, so you don't need to worry about this city.
Idiot. The one I'm worried about is you.
Why are you worried about me, Shiki?
Her eyes display true confusion. Of course I would. Well, of course I'm worried. I was relieved to hear that this enemy was weaker than Nero, because I thought there'd be no chance of Arquid being defeated. Arquid. I don't want to imagine Arquid getting hurt. This really is weird. Why can I not leave her alone? Certainly, I had the responsibility to bear for killing her. I also feel guilty that she's weak right now because of that. But even if that wasn't the case, I still couldn't leave her alone. I thought about it before too, but I suspect this must have something to do with logic. More than fear that I may even die. The emotion that I have to help Arquid is much stronger. But what we talked about before Arquid.
About what? About what?
You know, about whatever our senpai or your ally.
Wait, please hear me out.
Please hear me out. You know, certainly you don't have any common sense. You're selfish and you're hard to handle. Arika looked at me with a sore expression. Ignore it, I let my true things out. But, well, it really wasn't important when I was with you. I like you. So I guess see out on. So can I see out until you defeat them? What do you mean to say? I won't be senpai's daddy, but yours. This is going to be amusing. I still glance at Arquid's face.
Really?
I love that surprise.
Really?
Looking at her surprised, she hesitantly returns my gaze. I love her face. This is why Arquid is one of the bestest waifus in Tsukihime. Cause stuff like this. Well, yeah. Even I think there's something wrong with me, but I'm actually a part of this. I can't just overlook the problems going around the city I live in. So
You mean?
Yeah. If you're still weak, and if you say you need my power, I'll work with you. I might be just a burden, but...
Yeah. If you help me, there's nothing we can't do.
Her face fills brightly, and she seems extremely happy.
But is it okay, Shiki? You may have to face death again.
I'm ready. And I think that's why I have these eyes to begin with. When I was a child, someone told me this. That
If I if I have the power to if I have the power to do not, I should do things others cannot.
I think I think this is that kind of thing.
Oh, I don't really know your circumstances. But that sounds good. Arcade is an
Indescribably good mood. And being with her puts me in a good mood as well. But what should we do now? Do you want to search for more of the dead like before?
Yeah, I think that's all we can do for now. The one before was a 12, so I don't think there's much more. The parent vampire will come out once when they're all destroyed, so we have to hunt the remaining ones for now. Is that still okay? Is that still okay?
She asked. Anything's fine. I'm just with you. If you lead, then I'll follow.
Well, shall we start again?
Shall we start again?
No, that's good for tonight. They usually follow a fixed route, and the other dead will probably not be out tonight. Since they're fewer in number, I don't think that he will let them all come out at once.
Oh, really? But that
doesn't mean this enemy will try to hide the dead.
Does that mean that this enemy will try to hide the dead from you, Arquate?
Basically. But since this enemy is a vampire, he needs to steal blood from energy from others. So even though he knows I'm searching for them, he has to send the dead out to get a million blood he needs.
The male dead he sent out was a man from before, huh? So searching further tonight will be useless, I think.
Well, I don't mind.
Well, I don't mind. It's tedious. It's tedious, though.
Yeah, hunting vampires is tedious work. We have to find the column of this enemy somewhere in the city, so it won't be easy.
Okay, let's go my hand and jumps back softly. Arquate?
Let's say goodbye for tonight. We'll meet tomorrow.
With a dance-like step, she watches me as if gets farther away. Tomorrow, wait. Where should we meet?
Here is fine. The time, yeah, around 10 o'clock should be fine.
With a smile, she makes that promise.
Good night, Shiki. I'll see you here tomorrow.
And waving her hand, Arquate disappears. I get back to the mansion. It's about 1:30 in the morning. The mansion is completely dark. This can't be good. I put my hand on the mansion's gate. Clang! A storage chain holds it closed. Dang. I shouldn't cut this. I think a bit, then I decide to climb over the gate. I'm exhausted. After sneaking over a wall like a thief, I quietly make my way to the doorway. The gate was locked, but the door isn't. It must have been Hisui. I give her a sigh of thanks. So, as not to wait Aika Kohaga-san or Hisui, I sneak my way through the mansion. Phew! Laying out of breath, I lay down on my bed. My promise to Arquate. Maybe it's fate, but you got yourself tying up in trouble again, Tonoshiki. Could I help it? I just can't leave her alone. Or maybe I didn't want her to leave her alone. Though I picked like my ally is Ciel. So that's kind of weird. It went to Arquate. I wonder. Probably that promise will be broken. I have no idea. Could I help it? I just couldn't leave her alone. Or maybe I didn't want to leave her alone. Well, I do like Arquate. But is that love? I don't even know my feelings. At any rate, it looks like I'll be helping Arquate once again, starting tomorrow. So for now, I should think of anything else but getting a good night's sleep. I can't sleep. If I close my eyes, so many things come to mind. about Arcade, about this vampire lurking in the streets, about the black cloaked senpai. I can't sleep. At times like this, reading is good. I know there was a book I was reading before. Oh, fine, I can change my voice again. The first feeling was rather one of pity. Not anger, not despair, but I thought everything before my eyes was pitiful. Of course, the most pitiful thing is myself, which breaks down without limit. Daily life which fades without limit. Time is forgotten without limit. Everyone only follows, and yet everyone still struggles to desperately continue existing, and they judge that it's not possible. They continue to reproduce, continuing to reproduce. In the end, even that dies, but there's no more recomposition. Of course, it's not those who die who are not recompensated, with no hope to begin with. What is not recompensated are all the attempts, the noble wish, the yearning of eternity, which everyone longs for, yet cannot achieve. I have no interest whatsoever in things that break down. If I could see death and understand it, maybe I'll take a bit of interest. A repetition nearly impossible to measure. Yet this wish repeats itself. I thought to replace the almost comical cycle of wishes with one pure thing. There's no need to state the method, and wish becomes a result after it is granted. I live slowly for that reason. It cannot be turned conviction. Just the first word I learned happened to be eternity. Oh.
Oh, so you intend to get eternity closet to you?
Of course not. There's only a species that age slower and die harder. I'm becoming one of them only because this body has reached its limit. If I'm gonna go further on, it'll take time in this body.
Is it wrong that you, the one who goes after eternity, hurries with things? So you plan on leaving here tomorrow?
I'll leave the Bureau Agency to you. In the first place, there's one empty seat for the priesthood. I used all of my father's inheritance getting this far, so it's about time I quit. Well, that's fine.
That's fine. You're going to complete your magic theory?
I have
no intention leaving here. And I can't live with you. Well, fortunately, I am a woman. I'm gonna bear a child and tell it all about you.
Oh. Well, you tell it, Nervik.
Let's see. I'll tell you something like, after 100 years, after a newcomer, that apostle will appear. It's pointless to take notice of him, so ignore him.
No, you wouldn't need to wait 100 years. Just like here, I will rise quickly to the top. This body will become the most superior vampire, so 10 years will be enough.
How foolish. Even if it's you will need at least 100 years if you start over from the dead. Their world intensely is nowhere as nice as ours. Using direct methods, then you will be...
Using direct methods, then you will be right. But if I become the strongest vampire, from the very beginning, third world rules will not apply to me.
What do you mean by that?
It's simple. As a priest of the church, you should know that the apostles' powers are affected by the true ancestor that sucked their blood. Therefore, the solution is very simple. If I wish to become the strongest apostle, the blood of mine must be sucked by the strongest of the true ancestors. Well, that was interesting. Very interesting. Where did he get that book? I'm watching a dream. A fake dream without any particular significance. Do I like her? I don't know my true feelings, but I can't deny the reality that I'm always concerned about her. Do I like her? I don't know. It's just like that when I completely lost within myself, she helped me. If she wasn't there, I may have died under the pouring rain. I don't know. This is why I have to ask. Why is she doing this? Why her eyes are so devoid of any emotion?
Shiki-sama.
I can hear his sweet voice mingling with the morning light.
Shiki-sama, it's time. Please wake up.
Her inflection voice awakes me. As soon as I wake up, terrible things enter my vision. I get a headache like I was shot in the head. I almost lose as I awaken my consciousness. Before I feel complete, I quickly grab my glasses.
Shiki-sama, are you not feeling well?
No, that's not it. It's just my anemia is acting up. Lightly shaking my head, I clear my head of what I was seeing. More than that, good morning, Hisui. Thanks for waking me up. Sitting in bed, I do my best to simply smile naturally.
No, this is my duty. There's only for you to thank me, Shiki-sama.
Maybe, but I am grateful. You are indefinitely better than an alarm clock. I stand up. It's not even 7 o'clock. It's about 10 minutes earlier than I usually get up. Breakfast? I'll be there soon, so please go on ahead of me.
Shiki-sama, about that, Ayaka is waiting for you in the sitting room. It seems she has more questions for you.
He says this with some difficulty. Something she needs to ask. Is she in a bad mood?
Yes, Ayaka seems to realize that you left late last night, Shiki-sama.
I blurt out without thinking. Last night I went to look for artwork and came home late. Oh, I thought no one noticed.
Yes. Yes, I also thought that I was the only one who noticed.
He answers solemnly. So you realized I left?
Oh.
He looks very apologetic. I see you knew. No wonder the magic entrance was open.
Yes.
He answers reluctantly. Thanks, it was a big help. And thanks for going your way to do that.
But Nei-san realized too because of that. Nei-san and I have 2-hour shifts watching the mansion. And she found out about me unlocking the entrance.
I see now. Kagu-san's Aiga concerned, so she would have leaked it to Aiga about last night. He said there's no need for you to apologize. It was my fault that I was walking around last night. So I'll be the one to take the blame. I'm so very happy that you left the door unlocked. He just looks at me.
It's nothing. As soon as you change, please go to the sitting room.
Sid looking like she wants to say something, Hisui exits into the hallway. Dang, I'm going to get scolded by Aika again. I mutter to myself as I change. If I have that time for that, there's still something important I have to do instead. That's right, I have to talk to Senpai. I get a headache again. It faded when I was talking to Hisui, but as soon as she left, it started hurting again. Crap, this doesn't look like it will end soon. I bear as a plane as I collapse on the bed. It doesn't ease up. A pain like I'm stabbed in the head makes me completely forget what I was thinking about earlier. Come to think of 8 years ago since that incident, I always had to deal with my broken body, dizziness, headaches, and a mania occurring unexpectedly. I can't count how many times I have to give up because of that. The doctor said it was a miracle just surviving it. Just being able to live is a miracle, so putting up with the various pains is perhaps necessary. These broken eyes. Sensei, who was able to alleviate these eyes, told me to treat that miracle very importantly. Those words. Does she mean that human life is not so much precious as is not returnable? So should I treat it carefully? These past few days, I've seen the deaths of many people too easily. Lives ending so easily is almost comical. As if something that ends easily doesn't mean it was only worth that much from the beginning. If that is the case, it is meaningless to view life as precious. Why, since when am I that you start thinking like that? The headache finally stops. Maybe I saw too much blood. What a horrible thought. Take a few breaths. My lungs are fresher. I clear away my unpleasantness. I should hurry up and go to school. I should show senpai. It's like painting my head. I leave my room. I go upstairs into the lobby. Goes down to the city room. And next to me is a hallway that goes to the city room. In front of the door that leads outside. What should I do? I was waiting in the city room, but I want to hurry and see senpai. Okay, I don't know which one will give me a bad end. So let's do create save. Let's go to the room. But still, I can't know I can go right to school. I want to find about senpai right away, but first I should explain Aiga about last night. Aiga is only one in the sitting room. Kaku is in the kitchen, humming away. Aiga doesn't say anything when she sees it and sips her tea quietly. Good morning, Aiga. Resisting the urge to go to school, I greet her as naturally as possible. Aiga's eyebrow twitches as she places her tea down slowly and looks at me.
Good morning, Nissan. It was quite late when you came home last night, wasn't it?
No, not really.
It was
most little past 1 o'clock, quite normal for a healthy young man. Quite healthy for a young man in high school to be up, right?
I see. My bedtime is past midnight, so I was up at the time, but I will come
home much earlier than that.
Come.
Yeah, even I was home earlier, wasn't I? I just had something to do, so I was out for a little bit.
Without permission.
Of course
Without permission. You acted like you were doing something you felt guilty over.
Huh? Her stares, pure ice. This is the second time, and I'm sure that even though Ike looks calm, she is quite angry.
Nissan.
Yeah, Nissan.
I don't know what you went out at the Arma's house, but here the curfew is 8 o'clock. It's a rule that must not be broken. The gate will be locked after that, so please don't climb in like a robber.
Oh, you knew?
The surveillance camera showed me quite clearly. It's a good thing that Kohaku-san realized that it was you and turned off the alarm system. Otherwise, You will probably be detained right now, Tonoshiki.
Oh, I should thank Kohaga-san then. Aika, I'm sorry. I should have kept quiet about it.
If you understand that, it's fine. Please make sure you observe your curfew from now on. I will overlook it this time.
About the Aika?
What is it?
This is a little hard to say. I have something to do tonight too. I don't know when I'll be back, but I'm not going to do anything bad. Her gaze sharpens.
Kohaku!
She suddenly stands up. Kohaku comes in from the kitchen.
Yes, what is it, my lady? I'll be going to school. Get preparations ready. Huh? But I haven't yet made Shiki-san breakfast. You can leave this person alone. He seems he can do everything by himself.
Aika strides towards the lobby. Kohaku-san sighs.
Shiki-san, you should not make Aika-sama so upset. You are her big brother, so please treat her better, okay?
Saying that, she walks after Ayaka. The teacup sits, still steaming. I know it's my own fault, but I don't have any breakfast today. But it's convenient in a way. It's now just 7 o'clock. If I run to school now, I should be able to get around 7:30. I make it to the gate. It's about 7:30. I stand and wait for Senpai by the gate. His probably looks a little strange to the other students passing by, but I don't really care. How they freeze? Oh, Senpai doesn't show up. The school gate is flow as they arrive. Okay, there's only 5 minutes before the gate closes, but Senpai still doesn't come. She might not come today. Yesterday I saw all that happened, so she might not come today or tomorrow or the day after. Thinking that, I feel a little faint. I shake my head to clear the terrible thoughts, and then someone pats me in the shoulder from behind.
Tono-kun, what are you doing here?
Senpai?
Yes.
Senpai nods. Really? But yesterday you were... Where are I gonna finish? Senpai puts her hand over my mouth.
Tono-kun, not here. Let's go behind the gymnasium.
Then gives her usual smile as she keeps her hand over my mouth and pulls my arm. I try to yell her to stop, but I can't speak. She forcibly pulls me away. The school bell rings overhead. It's like freezing. What the? Homeroom has begun. Furthermore, no one else is around.
Yes, no one can hear us. Yes, no one can hear us here.
Senpai finally releases me. Jumping back, I face Senpai directly. You want to talk about last night, right?
If there's anything you want to talk about last night, right? If there's anything you want to say, please go ahead, Tono-kun.
Senpai speaks calmly, as if what happened last night was not a big deal. But it was a big deal for me. Her attitude right now makes me mad. So that really was you last night?
Yes. I did say your name back then too, so it's impossible to hide it any longer.
I grit my teeth. I didn't expect an apology or anything, but still. But you said that wasn't you. But was it? 3 nights ago. I asked you, you're the one to help me that night in that park. You said that wasn't you.
That was a lie.
Such that word. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Subtectically? Senpai, and simply say so. A lie, senpai?
You didn't keep the promise we made. You told me you wouldn't go out at night anymore.
Huh. She stares at me. I start to feel like the bad guy also. I'm feeling guilty about what I did.
I made a promise with you something like this won't happen. Is that how little a promise of me means to you, Tono-kun? That makes me sad.
No, that's not it. But last night, I thought Arkway was one behind the circlings, but that couldn't be right, so I went to ask her, and I tell her all about last night. Then I listened to it all silently. How I met her accidentally, how I explained to me about the vampire in the city, and how teamwork with her to save the city, and everything up to now.
I understand. So you team with her to defeat the vampire in this city. Right, Tono-kun?
Well, yeah, that's how it yeah. Well, yeah, that's how it is.
I can't believe it. Tono-kun, do you really believe in vampires?
What are you saying, senpai? Even you're one of the church's Senpai puts a finger on my lips.
Don't worry about me. Isn't the problem more about you, Tono-kun?
Me? I don't have any problems.
You have no self-awareness, it seems. Someone gives a troubled sigh. I have a question. Just how much did she tell you about?
How much? Well, only the vampire in this city sucking people's blood. So,
in other words, you know much about this enemy she's after.
Well, I haven't heard about it.
I see. And I shall tell you about it.
Oh, that's amazing. You know about that, senpai?
Well, you know, I'm a member of the church, so of course I know that much.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, I kind of forgot. I tend to laugh it off.
Jeez, I'm trying to be serious here, so please pay attention.
I nod in assent. Huh? Isn't that a secret, Arquade? She said you were incredibly secretive.
Yes, it really isn't something to talk about, but today is special. There isn't anyone watching over us, anything, so as long as you don't tell anyone, then it'll be okay.
What happens if I tell someone else about you, senpai?
Yes. I'll just do exactly what you're thinking of, Tono-kun.
Somebody gives that friendly response with a smile.
Well, then, I'll keep it very simple. Tono-kun, how much was explained to you about vampires?
Just about, there's two types of vampires. How the dead apostles are vampires that suck human blood. But, I know what kind of monsters they are.
That's true. Tono-kun, you did actually defeat a vampire.
But you did help me in the very end, senpai.
Yes, I watched you annihilate chaos. When I came, chaos was already dying though.
I'm surprised that senpai knows about my eyes.
It was terrible. That would make you such a thing. If she had a conceptual weapon to defeat chaos, she would use it herself. Seeing your body, I thought I would punch her, and then right there. You too, Tono-kun. Even though you were giving the one that can kill vampires, you were thinking about finding that thing. Does she have over your weakness or something?
Still looking surprised, senpai complains out loud. Senpai? What's this weapon that can kill vampires?
What do you mean? I'm talking about the knife you have, Tono-kun. I guess she won't tell you about it. It's not good for her either. Let's see if have fully recovered from the energy they receive of only outside force. I mean, normal weapons. Certain things you cannot cause wounds with the speed of the recovery. To kill a vampire, you need outside force greater than the speed of recoverers has their ability to recover. The cause of restrict actually isn't treating the wounds. Instead, is reserving the time to restore the damaged body part back to its original state. An occult artifact which nullifies this effect is called an exceptional weapon.
Senpai cheerfully says all these things. I can't understand too well. In short, a magical weapon.
We usually lift their curse looking into their human past, so we do not usually use them. But those are not originally human. We don't use the kind like a secret. We use like a secret weapon. Your knife is not your knife that she brought?
Huh?
Or is it a family treasure? But it would be strange for the Tone family to possess an anti-demon weapon.
Senpai ponders online. I don't know what you're thinking, but it seems like she has no idea about my eyes. Senpai. Where did our conversation about vampires go? Senpai starts mumbling to herself. She smiles as if to hide her embarrassment. Honestly, her personality is hard to understand.
Let's back to the main subject. Please listen carefully.
Alright, I think I'll end it here, because it seems like we're going to have a long conversation. So I'll see you next time. Bye!